And welcome back, my fellow fiends, to Let's Play Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. Last time, we entered the Ikebukuro tunnels and defeated Shin-Ki. This time, we're going to finish up the tunnels and complete the slaughtering of the Oni. So let me just check my map here. I believe the way we want to go forward is, or the way we want to go to move forward with the dungeon is north. So let's head through this door right here. And heading up this ladder. Now, the way the Oni are laid out... Oh. Yeah, we already met one of them. Ah, okay. So yes, we need to defeat the 3 Oni who are located in the stone chambers, or whatever those rooms were identified as. And once we defeat them, the final Oni will make an appearance. So let's see, I believe we want to take this door to the north here. Man, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate having a fast Dekunda user to go first in a battle whenever I get hit by Warcry multiple times. Let me just, yeah, you're not lifted in the air. Now you may notice there's a blank spot in these damage floors right in front of us, so naturally, walk into it. There's actually a pit there that drops us down a level. And there are a couple of things of note here. So, heading forward a bit, around this corner, you'll see that there is a Mystic Chest here, and we're actually pretty close to full Kagetsuchi, so let's run around a bit, because there's a good reward for us here. Alright, once the Kagetsuchi is full, we open up this chest to get an Agility Incense. Now you may notice that door to the north of us, there is actually a pit between this chest and that door. You can access this door from another side if you take a different ladder, and that'll of course just lead you into this pit, which will throw you back to the floor below, and you will be annoyed. We need to come this way to get this chest, so yeah, nothing else to remark on there. Now heading over here, we've got another stone cave. Now, I want to make sure that we are topped off before getting into this, so gonna give a chakra drop to myself, and then we're just going to have Kikure Hime do a quick media to heal us all up. Something I want to remark on with Kikure Hime is that I was incorrect about a skill she was going to learn. Her final skill is Recarm. I thought she was going to learn Mana Refill. I think I read that on a wiki, and I guess that just wasn't the case. Or maybe I'm misremembering what I read on that wiki, so yeah. Kikure Hime is not learning the skill I want. To get access to that skill, the easiest way for me to do it would just be to buy that Nue from the Shady Broker in the second Kalpa, which I will be doing when I have the money for it, and I should probably have that money in the near future, but that is neither here nor there. Let's talk to this guy. As soon as you walk up to him, he talks to you, and he is ice cold. Now, if you actually agree to come over and hang with him, he will not attack you. We have to actually refuse, and he thinks little of that, so he's gonna kill us for our cowardice. Now, as always, with these Oni, we want to start by fully debuffing them, so we're going to get a couple war cries in. Let me see here. Just thinking about how I want to approach this. Actually, I'm probably going to get Karasu out of here and bring in, what was his name? Zoku, I think it was. I'll probably bring him in. Let's just get some buffs up going ourselves. We definitely want to improve our magic here. We will Sukukaja. We'll get the last war cry, and Sui-Ki is actually weak to fire, so I can fire breath him, and that'll deal some pretty good damage. Sui-Ki, as he said, he's a cold demon, so he specializes in ice magic. Much like Shin-Ki, he likes to use the eye skills to give him additional turns. Also, that is very fortunate. Alright, let's have Matador pass, and let's get Zochu. Zocho? I don't know how to pronounce his name properly. Well, let's get him in here. He has Agilao, so he can get some, I replaced Matador with him. Ugh. Man, I am not paying enough attention these days. Oh, well, it's not a huge deal. As long as his magic power, or his attack power, is lowered a ton, we can deal pretty great damage to him, so let's get to work now. We'll use Fire Breath, deal some great damage to him. Yeah, check that out. Nice. Hopefully we can get even more going here. And we'll just throw out another Zanma. May as well get that little bit of extra damage in. And much like Shin-Ki, once he starts to get a little bit weaker, a little unfortunate that he didn't hit our Habaki there, but as you can see, he did not do too much damage. Yeah. After Shin-Ki is just purely physical, but Sui-Ki and the last Oni that we're going to fight, Fuu-Ki, they specialize in particular elements. Fuu-Ki will be Force. But they also mix in a lot of physical attacks into the mix, because of course they have strong physical stats. I'd love if I could roll 2 hits on this. Yes, nice. Just amazing damage. Great stuff. And this guy is probably getting pretty weak at this point. Ah, of course. Starting to realize that we're not exactly the people that he thought he was. We are not weaklings in any capacity. It's very nice when he hits Arahabaki there, because of course Arahabaki repels ice. And that's pretty studly there. I may want to use a Medea after that huge bit of damage we took. Hopefully Zocho doesn't miss here. Okay, he did not. I will use a Medea just because we're getting a little low on HP for Karasu, so we'll do that. Then we'll pass and do the Agilao, since that does a lot more damage than his Zanmas could hope to do. And looks like we're not super duper close to finishing off yet. Nice. Always good when we dodge those attacks. Yeah, use those multi-targeted ice attacks, because they are no good, buddy. Alright, we should be able to finish him off this turn or the next. Oh, nope, it's this turn. A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. And there we go, nice. Get a level up for our efforts. And we are at level 37. Very critical level, because of course that allows us to get access to Daisojo, which we will be fusing him after a certain point. Alright. Let's see. We will Medea off that damage, and then I'm going to use a couple chakra drops just to bring myself up so I have some sustainability in random encounters. Now that we've gotten that taken care of, let me see here. Yeah, we do need to drop down through that pit to get out of here, so let's just fall on down. And this puts us back in that huge square area. And we just have to go back the way. I'll just cut ahead to back to the area that we started at. Alright, here we are back at the hallway from before we fell through that pit. Let me just do a quick top off here. And the door we want to take is actually... Oh, there goes light, and there goes levitation. Not too big a deal at this moment. Let's just get the light back in effect. Get that lightoma up. But the door we actually want to take is, I believe it's this one. And we've basically gotten all the treasure that's actually valuable at this point. Gotta get another Liftoma, never mind. It's not a huge deal if you just walk over these damage floors. They only do like 3% of your HP in damage. Not anything threatening in the slightest. But, you know, if we can avoid the damage, why not? It's always a good idea to be as close to full health as possible in this game, just because if the enemies go first, they can utterly destroy you, and I don't think I have to go over why that is undesirable, especially if it's been a while since you've last saved your progress. Yeah, I actually love seeing those encounters with 3 Mothmen, because as you can see, they give excellent experience and money for this stage of the game, so very, very good for our resources when we actually run into them. Alright, now heading out into here, we will be across from another small terminal. Not gonna lie, this one's kind of weirdly close to the previous one. I'm not really sure what the deal is with that, but whatever. We will live with it. I don't know if you noticed my personal file there, but as you can see, I've gotten quite a few levels since the last time I made a save on that. Also, have got the Demon Compendium filled out a pretty good amount at this point. I think I'm at like 93% or so. Almost got everything. Of course, I'm going to leave an open spot in the Compendium so that I can show off the special message you get for when you finally complete it. Yeah, filling out the Compendium, because the most effective way to do it is well, make actually heavy use of the Compendium. It's very draining on your money, but I actually learned the super good money farming trick in this game that allows you to do it much, much more quickly than just fighting things or selling things. Now here we've got a stone cave. This cave is the residence, or where the final Oni, Ongyo-Ki, resides. but we can't actually fight him at the moment because we have not beaten the 3 lesser Oni. Very counterintuitively, the final Oni that we need to kill before Ongyo-Ki will actually spawn in is actually past his stone cave, and we actually need to bypass that area and go forward a little bit. I'm gonna Astoma now that we're back onto tracks, because I think the enemy encounter pools get a little weaker here. On the other hand, perhaps not. I just ran into 3 Mothmen. However, in that last fight, Matador got a level and learned Taunt, which is actually very useful in his hand because of his really high agility. He can get that in before anybody goes and hit the enemy with a massive defense penalty, so that's pretty nice. And as you can see, in the next level up, he will learn his signature skill, Red Capote, which will replace Sexy Gaze for sure, because I will never use that. Red Capote is a special buffing skill that fully buffs his own accuracy and evasion to full, but only his own, so it's not quite as good when he was using it against you, but still a pretty effective thing. Certainly not a bad opener, especially when you're dealing with a lot of enemies who use multi-targeting physical attacks. Having his evasion maxed out means that he makes a pretty effective dodge tank, and is pretty handy in situations where you don't have Arahabaki to tank those kinds of hits, and generally just multi-targeting in general. He's very good for dealing with that. Haha, I got another level up for the Demi-Fiend. Unfortunately, I did not think to equip Marugare, so I could not roll a HP-MP recovery, which would have been kind of handy here. Anyways, heading on to the other tracks and going forward a bit. Let's see, I think who we need to... or rather, where we need to go is this way. And yes, the Stone Cave. Just one thing I didn't bring attention to, you probably noticed a cash cube on the other tracks when I came out. That one just contains a muscle drink, which is a weak healing item that has a pretty high chance of poisoning you, so I didn't really feel that was worth collecting. Maybe we'll go back for it later. Let's see, actually, I'm going to put Karasu in the stock, and we're actually going to bring out Raiju. And let's see here, need to get my MP a little topped off here, so let's give 1 chakra drop to myself, another one to Matador. Hopefully that's enough. Yeah, I'm a bit running dry on healing items. Oh, I forgot to use the agility incense. Knew I was forgetting something. Yeah, I'm running a little dry on healing items here, so kind of in a rough situation, but we should be able to manage. Worst comes to worst, I can teleport back to Shibuya, do a quick recovery, and then come back for the final fight. But we have enough supplies or resources to take on this guy right here. And once again, just walk up to him, we run to Fuu-Ki, and he goes, yeehaw. Oh yeah, totally. Nah. I like that response. Yeah, he was not impressed by our attempt at reverse extortion, so... let's have Matador pass to start, and as per usual, we're just gonna War Cry, bring his attack power down. Now, unlike Sui-Ki, he actually does have a counter to this. He can... yeah, he's weak to elect, which is why I wanted him... Ooh, that's, I was going to say, unlike Sui-Ki, he can actually cast Makakaja to bring his offense up a little bit, which is pretty undesirable since War Cry is so expensive, but we should be able to manage. Okay. Pretty good stuff there, and just do another Makakaja. But yeah, that is why I brought Raiju in. This guy is weak to Elec, and he is the only source of Elec damage I have. Alright, cool. And at this point, let's start buffing our accuracy and evasion up, just to rule out the chances of those stray misses. Yeah, unfortunately, Fire Breath not going to be quite as good against this guy, especially when it only rolls 1 hit, but it should do well enough. Raiju is going to be a pretty big part of the offense here, just because Zyonga will really bring that damage up a lot. Alright, let's get another Tsukukaja going. Okay, I'm thinking about when I should recover my MP, use up one of my chakra drops. I think whenever he uses 2 of those, that's when I'll want to use a chakra drop on myself and then take his offense back down. Let's see. Let's do a Medea just to top everybody off. Make sure Raiju doesn't get too weak. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to teleport back to recover us, because I'm not really doing so hot on supplies at the moment. Okay. And then hit him with Zyonga. And what the heck, let's start bringing his own accuracy down. Looks like Arahabaki's not going to be able to contribute anything more after that, so we're just going to have to deal now. Now he's using Dragon Eye. This is where the fight starts to get a little bit trickier, as it always does with these guys. Oh geez, yeah, that's oof, this is going to hit hard. Ooh, there goes Raiju. Yeah, saw that coming. Alright, not a huge deal though. Let's see, Chakra Drop myself, we'll get a Warcry in on him. I'm gonna have to do a lot of passes to deal with this. Let's start bringing our evasion up so that I can avoid more of his hits. We'll Warcry him, and next turn I'll try to get another Demon in so we get more turns to work with. Alright, what's he gonna do here? Oof, that is actually very unfortunate. That is much more fortunate though. There we go, that's what we needed to see. Alright, let's pass. Now who can I bring in that would be good here? Let me see what options I have at my disposal. Let's bring in Kikuruhime just so I can have her aid with the healing. Yeah, have her do a Medea, top us off a little bit. And, oof. This is actually a pretty rough situation to find myself in. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have Arahabaki focus, and I'm just going to have him blow himself up. Just to get that little bit of extra damage in. Okay, that was lucky. Oh, he really hates her. He wants her dead. She is marked for death. Alright, let's taunt him. Bit of an unusual strategy here, but I think this might work out. Get his defense down. Let's Fire Breath him. And then let's have Arahabaki go boom. There we go. Not exactly the way I would like to resolve that, but, you know, when the situation gets dire, that's what you gotta do sometimes. Okay, but now that we have defeated all of them, Ongyo-Ki will have taken up residence in his stone cave. Now what I'm gonna do now is, because I'm so light on supplies, is I'm actually gonna travel back to Shibuya, recover my guys back up to full, and then I will meet you back at the stone cave where Ongyo-Ki is residing, so meet you there. Alright, here we are at the final stone cave. Now a couple things I want to mention before we actually enter and face off against Ongyo-Ki. Since Kikuruhime did not have the skill that I really wanted, what I did is I fused her off with Dis to create Daisojo. Now, to start with, Daisojo has access to Meditation and Mahamon. I don't really care for the instant kill spells in this game, save one exception, because most of them have really awful success rates. The big takeaways is that he's got Medea for healing support. He's got a really great magic stat, as you can see, so that'll be some pretty effective healing. He's got Bright Might, which will be handy every now and again, though that's not the reason why I have the Kagatsuchi at full at the moment. We'll get to that in a second. And, this is important. You absolutely want to have something with Tetraja for the very near future. It'll save you a lot of headaches if you have access to it on some capacity, and Daisojo is a pretty good user of it, so, because he can just completely restore his MP with Meditation really easily, he can always have that available if I need it. Later on, Daisojo actually learns a very valuable skill called Prayer, which is a full party heal that purges ailments. I mentioned Nue having it. Daisojo is the earliest way you can have access to it that isn't a really bad shady broker demon that's just fusion fodder, so that's something to look forward to. Going into this, we absolutely want to have something with Makakaja, and we absolutely, this is critical, have something with Deikaja. It is so important for this fight that we're about to get into. The setup for the Demi-Fiend does not matter too much. I just want to make sure that he goes in with full MP, yeah, that should do it, honestly. Just let me check here. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with what I got. I don't remember how much experience we get for this. Let's go in, and once you have defeated the 3 lesser Oni, Ongyo-Ki makes his big appearance in all his intimidating glory. I noticed. Oh yeah, we totally annihilated them. I don't know what happens if you lie there. Maybe I should have tried that. I just didn't want to get pushed out and have the Kagatsuchi potentially change. Now, why do we want the Kagatsuchi to be at full if I'm not using Bright Might? Well, that's because of this skill, Replicate. Now, Ongyo-Ki has set up these mirages, but only one of them is real, and if you attack a fake, it counts as a miss, and you lose 2 press turns. Now, you can exploit this just by using a multi-target attack to hit the correct one, and you'll only be counted for 1 miss. It's not like future versions of this gimmick, where if you miss a mirage at all, it just immediately ends your turn or whatever. But, you may notice, that one on the left, he's got a little bit of a shadow around him. This is the way you can make this fight easier without having to sacrifice press turns. Ongyo-Ki, during the Fall Kagetsuchi, the real one, will have a shadow underneath him. Now to start off, we want to Tsukukaja, make absolutely sure we do not miss the fake one anyway, and we're going to just whack him. And to start off, let's get a Makakaja up. And let's just have... tempting, but let's just have him pass, and let's hit him with a tornado for some really good damage. Now, when Ongyo-Ki's turn comes back around, he's going to use Dragon's Eye. And he's going to buff up. He's going to use Tarukaja, Rakukaja, and Tsukukaja. And then on his final turn, he's going to replicate again. Now, we definitely don't want to have to deal with those buffs, so let's just get those off of him. Get that junk out of here. Fortunately, that does not count as a miss against any replicated Ongyo-Kis that are up. And once again, it's the left one, so let's just punch him. Let's have Karasu pass again, get that Makakaja up. And once again, we'll pass and hit him with a tornado. I'm playing a little risky here, though. Maybe I should lower his offense. I think we're in good standing, though. So, in his next turn, what he's going to do is he's going to Dragon's Eye, and then he's going to Tarukaja, Rakukaja, and Tsukukaja. Then he's gonna replicate. I feel like I've seen this tactic before. That's strange. Well, maybe we should just do same again. Alright, so it is the second one from the right this time. Just take that out. Once again, have Karasu pass, since his damage is just gonna be bad. We'll Makakaja, pass again, and then hit him with that tornado. Alright, this is where the fight starts to get a little harder, though. Because, now that we've done a bit of damage to him, he's gonna Tarukaja, he's gonna Rakukaja, he's gonna Tsukukaja, and then he's gonna replicate again. I'm just gonna post a screen cap of my notes right now, and... yeah, this fight, you may have noticed, he has a bit of a fatal flaw in his AI, and anytime he does not have any buffs in effect, he's gonna focus on getting those buffs back into play, and it does not matter if he does not do anything in the process of actually killing you. So yes, as long as you have Deikaja, this fight is practically unlosable. He just gets into this loop where he constantly buffs up and replicates, and if the replicants aren't around, he's just gonna buff up again. And then replicate again immediately. And he just keeps doing this until the cows come home if you keep removing those buffs. Now, anytime I've played the PS2 version, he has always gotten stuck in this loop. I have never seen this fail to get him stuck. In the HD remastered version, I have seen him occasionally mix it up, but obviously he's, you know, he doesn't have his buffs in play, and he's not too threatening on his own, so I've never been super worried about that happening. Well, let's see. I might have to mix this up a little bit to get the most damage out of it. That was lucky. But yeah, he always does this loop. He'll always buff up, he'll always replicate, and he just does this. He can't think of how to break out of this. It's like, this is his thing. This is what he does. And this is why I set the Tsukukaja at first, just to make sure I don't miss the replicated form, because after every turn after the first, Matador's always going to have to use that Deikaja to get him down. Let's see, instead I'm going to, until the Demi-Fiend runs out of MP, it's probably smarter to use Mabufula. It does close enough damage to the Zanma that Karasu uses. Hopefully I roll 2 hits here. Yes! And he's got to be getting close to dead at this point, yeah. Hey, he actually broke out of it, and he did something completely useless, so I do not care. But this means that I can actually press the offense. That is actually the first time in a long time I've seen him break out of the loop in the PS2 version. Actually, I think that's the only time I've ever seen him break out of the loop, and he's dead. Poor Ongyo-Ki. He is not very versatile in how he approaches things. Alright. We got to just one more point in the vitality, and then I can stop investing in it directly for the rest of the game. Hooray. And, drain attack. This one causes your physical attacks to drain some HP back as damage. Decent, but I don't think anything's worth giving it up for. Now, for defeating Ongyo-Ki, aside from the rewards we get for beating him, there is a very good reward in the back left corner here. We get the Magatama Murakumo. Okay, maybe this isn't a great reward, but it is an interesting reward. As you can see, it allows us to resist physical... Whoa, excuse me, I'm very sorry if that got into the microphone. But it is weak to fire and ice, which I don't really consider a good trade over Murakumo. I suppose if you use it in the right areas where you know things aren't going to be using those types of magic, maybe it would be interesting to use. Here's the thing about Resist Fizz. Not all Resist Fizz are created equal, and there are some instances where it's stronger than others in the game. I'm not sure if that applies to Murakumo, though. I've never really explored it, but as you can see, we get some Ailment Void skills, which could be interesting, but I don't really care for having Void skills on the Demi-Fiend, because he has just so much more a complacent role as an attacker. And we get a bead. Not the most interesting thing. Now let's get out of here. And that is where we're going to call this video. Got quite a few boss fights done, and we're also going to have another major boss fight in the next video, so get prepared for that. But that will be for next time, and hopefully I've got a good team put together for that. I will tell you, I am actually very under-leveled for this stage of the game. I'm usually like in the 40s at this point, and I just now hit level 39, so yeah, not exactly the situation I expected to be in approaching Asakusa, because Asakusa is where I'm going to be taking that time to go through that cursed tunnel, or cursed hallway, in the second Kalpa, and it'd be a lot easier to survive that if I was around level 44 or so, but this is just what we're going to have to deal with. So that is where we will sign off for this video. As always, my fellow fiends, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, goodbye.